Hello everyone. Okay, so this is a live video on Instagram. So we are just gonna wait a few moments for others to join us, and then we'll dive right on in. So if you're just watching this later, go ahead and just get settled and just take a moment to tune into your breath. I know that's what I'm gonna do, is talking to so many people usually gets my heart going. So let's just take a moment to just tune into our breath and just see what's going on just within ourselves, just for a moment. Just feeling our entire being, really feeling that back space, just our back. We tend to be so much in this forward moving, really paying attention to everything that's behind us, our entire back, and how expansive and how we are. And then just feeling where you are, feeling grounded. Beautiful. Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you for joining. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about this new moon that's going on. Okay, this new moon will be talking a little bit about cellular energy work and intuitive growth as the collective, as well as just a few new things that I'm doing on my end for you, if you'd be interested. And then at the end, we'll do a little collective reading. So, the new moon, I was actually just journaling about this. The symbolism of the new moon, since today's the new moon, happy new moon everyone, in Virgo specifically. And so what this new moon is, for me, how I understand the new moon is, it is the darkness of the moon. It is not reflecting the sun. We do not see it in the sky. And so that darkness reveals truth. That is how I view it. It is darkness revealing truth. This could be the stars. This could also be the way you see yourself. This is revealing darkness within ourself. And so it's going to be bringing up a few new things that need some attention, as well as opening a new portal. This is the start. This is the beginning of a new lunar cycle, since we start with the absence of, there's nothing there, and then it's going to grow, and then it's going to decline. And so it is open to whatever it is that you want to manifest. And so really getting down and writing your intention for what do you want to happen within this next lunar cycle? What are you trying to manifest? What are you really trying to bring into your life? Really good time for that today especially, and then also the next 3 days. And so today, tomorrow, the next day. But yeah, and so what do you want? What do you want? What do you want in your life? And then also, with it being the darkness revealing the truth, can you see it? Can you see it already? Since there's darkness, truth is now shining. Truth is showing. And so can you see that what it is that you want? Do you already have it? Are you already on your way? Are you closer than you thought you were? So just really getting in there and writing it out, really helpful, putting sticky notes, whatever it is that you do to be organized to this, especially with it being Virgo season, would be really helpful. Just to get it out and then get it pinned and get it structured. Really, really useful right now. And so this is going to provide a deeper sense of clarity for you and the universe. And so with you trying to manifest whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, writing it out, getting it really, really structured and getting it really planned, the universe is going to be like, oh, easy, here you go. Okay, and so doing that, getting it really structured, especially right now, the new moon in general, really good for manifesting. New moon in Virgo, really good for manifesting, okay? Because we're breaking it down and we're putting it in the physical world. Like, this is why we've been organizing. This is why we've been getting back into our routines. This is why we've been scheduling things and categorizing things and just moving things around. This is why. And so, with all of this going on, though, with it being the new moon, there seems to be how I was trying to define it was almost an absence of emotion or an upheaval of emotion. And so our emotions right now are trying to, same thing, we are trying to organize ourselves and understand what is going on the emotional level. And so there seems to be a detachment that happens. There seems to be a detachment that happens from our emotions, or a extreme integration into our emotions. So there's two different ways you can go about that. And so that could be happening right now, especially today. You could be feeling really tired. I know myself, I took a nap. But yeah, so with this coming, so we just finished the lunar cycle, this last one. Now we're starting the next one. And so this just completed a release. And so whatever it was that was happening on the full moon, that cycle is complete. We're done. We're done. It's goodbye. Goodbye now. And so now we're starting the next one. So really, really setting the intentions for this next cycle. As well as, since the moon is now dark, we are going into the introspectiveness and the dark. It's almost like another dark night of the soul type of feeling. Yeah, it's nap time. But yeah, so it's time to really dive into yourself and see, like, okay, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Where do I want to connect with people? How do I want to connect with people? How to do all those things? It's the hows. It's the what you want and how you want to do it. That's what we're focusing on right now. Those are the words that we want to focus on right now. And so really scheduling them out, because Virgo is all about routine, organization, categorization, scheduling, communicativeness with our own desires. And so this isn't like, how do I relate to other people? No, this is like, how do I want to be known through other people? And so that's the little shift than a lot of people. But yeah, so new moon in general, and the symbolism behind it is just really so powerful. I freaking love it. Oh my gosh, I've been talking for 7 minutes already. Wow. Anyways, so that is the new moon, just real fast, real quick. Cellular energy work. If you guys have any questions about the new moon, feel free to ask. Cellular energy work, though, is, many people know, I've been posting a lot about it in my stories, but I'm doing this certification program. It's called the Healer's Blueprint, and what it is, it's cellular energy release. And so that is the modality. It's going down into your subconscious, into like in your cells and DNA on that level, that very molecular level, and being like, okay, what programs do I have within me that keep repeating? And so if you keep attracting like toxic relationships, or you keep experiencing sadness every other day, or you have a recurring pain in your left elbow, this is like diving into that and being like, okay, but why? So is this your energy? Did you create this because of something that happened, because of just anything? Is this like something that you're doing to protect yourself, to protect you? Or did you absorb it from someone at, say, the grocery store or the gas station or wherever you were? You could just like absorb it, because people's energy nowadays is going like bing, 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 bing. So you could have absorbed it from someone. Or the other option is you could have inherited it. So going back, just as we inherit our eye color or our hair color, our gene, like our physical attributes from our parents, we inherit the traumas, we inherit the subconscious patterning, we inherit these things within us, and as we continue through life, we step into them and we play them out and we repeat them and we keep them going. And if we don't consciously release them, they will continue. And so this is where the cellular energy work comes in, is we go in and we like, okay, what is happening? Why is this happening? And how can we replace this? Or how can we release this? And if it needs replacing, how can we replace it? And what can we put in place of it? And so that's really what cellular energy work is. I'm doing donation-based sessions right now just so I can get more practice in this modality that I have come to find, and just to get it more well-known, get it out there. And so if you're interested in a session, definitely let me know. But that is cellular energy work, and just the sessions that I've done on myself, so amazing. So amazing. Like, the emotions that I've been feeling, have been transmuted into more positive and more accepting emotions, just because we all are on our own healing path. This is a little bit about me, just going through and healing my own self, having so much progress in myself. Obviously, there's still so much more, but having just that much in myself, and then being able to share that with others, already had so many, the sessions I've been having have been so incredibly amazing. It's been really powerful. So I'm really excited to be starting this journey, because it is the most expansive modality that I found, because it utilizes verbiage, and so it utilizes our spoken words. It also utilizes our intuition, and so just like, okay, what's going on? It utilizes any energy healing modality that you know. And so for me, I've learned, I'm a Reiki practitioner. I'm a Reiki master. I have a certificate, and I've done the certification and everything. So like, I use Reiki. I use my chakra understanding. I use my alignment understanding. I use my soul past life understanding. And so not only am I diving into this life, I'm diving into what's happening here with your inherited, but then also what's happening here because of your past lives. And so that is really cellular energy work. Super powerful, super amazing. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about, again, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Kimberly says, I'm focusing on small goals and commitments to build upon, good habits to get me there and where I want to be. Yes, so good. Yes, especially with this new moon. We have to acknowledge how far we have come. We do. Or else we're just focusing on like how far we have to go. And it's just really, it's a little intimidating. Like, let's be honest. Because perfection isn't a thing. And so if we're only focusing on like where we're going, but perfection isn't a thing, so we don't really know where we're going, but we do know where we're going because we have it in here and we're like, I want to be there. But if we don't focus on where we've been, we won't see that entire growth and that we are, because we're perfect in this moment, but we're also not, which is something that I was actually thinking about yesterday. So interesting that came up. But yeah, so that goes into the actual intuitive growth that the collective is feeling. And it's been going around a lot, but so many light workers, shadow workers, light warriors are coming online, as we call it, right now. And they've been coming online since, okay, so it started back in 2012, but then it progressively got more and more. And now this year, especially since March, it's not even like back in January, but like since March, so many people have started to wake up and be like, I don't like my life. I don't like it. And so I'm going to change it. And that's where the empowerment of the light being comes in. That's the empowerment of us stepping into our more purposeful, powerful life. And that's really exciting right now. And so with that, though, those people are feeling the growth from all of us. I say those people, but I mean all of us, because it's me included. We are feeling the call, and I wrote down, souls are stepping up. Souls are stepping up. And so this is what's going on right now, is that everybody is feeling like, oh, I don't need that. I don't have to do that. And so we're all stepping into this more powerful, purposeful life, filled with light, filled with love, filled with awareness and consciousness and choices. Coming to know that we have choices nowadays. We have choices. What? So crazy. And so the intuitive growth that's going on has shifted, because so many people, we've been programmed, and we've been trying to process everything in this scientific-based reality, but science hasn't fully explained the intuition. Science hasn't fully explained this. So the people who have intuitive nudges, intuitive prompts, aren't trusting them. We haven't been trusting them through most of our lives, because it's something we don't know. And when things we don't know occur, we either brush it aside and be like, oh, that wasn't a ghost, that was just the breeze. Or that wasn't a message for anyone, but I know that they could have used it. But I'm like, and so it just boggles my mind, because I was definitely there. Having intuitive nudges all my life, trying to follow them, but trying to respond to them in a way where society would accept the response. And so not being so much like, oh my gosh, guys, I see a ghost over there. More so being like, so what if I receive a message, how I would bring it into this physical reality would ask a question. And so like, how if I received a message from let's say my spirit guides, and they said, hey, this person needs to know that it's okay, that they'll be okay. And so I, being the person that I am, would go up to person, mainly if it was like a friend or something, and it wouldn't be like, hey, it's gonna be okay. It would be more like, how are you doing? Open the conversation up for them to then realize that they're going to be okay. And so just shifting that a little bit, receiving the information, and then processing and translating and figuring it out, and then sifting it into how can it be most beneficial to this reality. Other times, you see a stranger at the store and you're like, hey, your grandma's gonna be fine. Crazy, but it's okay. People need the information, so that's all totally fine. What do we have going on down here? We have year 2020 is clear vision. The eye doctor said 2020 is perfect. Yep. We're conditioned to be scared of ourselves and scared of our own power. Yes, we are. I say they, but if you don't know who they is, I encourage you to look more into the government. I'll just say that much. But yeah, definitely want to be scared of our own power, because if we're scared of our own power, then they have all the power. They have all the power. And so we need to make sure that we are growing in our own intuitive, in our own human, multidimensional self. And that power is going to propel us into wherever we want to go. And so with the intuitive growth that's going on right now, this collective shift, everything is shifting. Everything is shifting. And so we have been pushed, literally pushed, and it's not an option anymore not to trust our nudges. You can ignore them, like you can, and I know people who still do, but I know that they're getting them. I know that they're getting it. Every single human on this planet is getting contacted in some sense, whether it's spirit guides, whether it's galactics, angels, whether it's other light beings, light warriors who are connecting with them in the physical plane. Everyone is having the shift occur. And because of that, intuitive growth is happening to every single person. And if it's being resisted against, if there's resistance there, it's because there's still lessons to be learned where we're still being enslaved. And so there's still lessons to be learned of giving power away. For certain people, not everyone, but for certain people. And so living in this, trusting our intuition, we need to be trusting our intuition. I actually saw a video today, somebody was talking about how all of us have had the option throughout our life to trust our intuition or to ignore it. And so like, okay, I can trust my intuition to take this exit off the highway or to keep going on the highway. And then you come to find out there's like a blockade on the highway. Or nowadays, it's like, no, you have to get off here because there's something going down there. And so it's just these slight different shifts that are happening, making us and pushing us to trust our intuition even more and more necessary. What are we talking about? We are the witches and warlocks, and we have different gifts. Yes. I feel like this new moon is going to be powerful and help us get back more in tune with our intuition. Yes, everything changes when I started trusting my intuition. Yes, all of you, I love you. It's so true. It's so true. This new moon, specifically, getting us to trust not only our own intuition, because it's the new moon and it just is what it is, but also with it being in Virgo, getting us to trust our intuition, pulling our intuitive, etheric, light body being into the physical reality and being like, this is my etheric self, and how can I ground this in and utilize it now to help the progression of humanity? How can I help my own progression? How can I help and ground this into this now moment to then help and aid this ascension that's going on, this awakening that's going on? And I don't use those words lightly because they're thrown around so much, but that's really what's going on. Everything changed. It took a long time, but looking at my whole life, I always knew, but only suffered when I did not listen. yeah, yes. Our intuition is our most powerful compass. Yes. Kimberly and Allie, yes. I myself have even found that when I don't listen, I tend to either like sit in traffic forever, or I tend to not enjoy the experience that I went to instead of listening to don't go to it, or just little things like that. And now we're being told, like, first of all, we don't have the option not to listen to our intuition. Like I do, which is interesting because we always have the choice. But now it's getting so drastically different, it kind of feels like there's not a choice anymore. Like, do you want to live in the life of freedom and joy and flow and abundance? Or if you're going to resist that, you're going to get the resistance. You're going to get the resistance against abundance. You're going to get the resistance against flowing, which is stagnation. You're going to get the resistance against just where you're going. And so that's where the intuitive growth is coming in, is the collective is feeling this right now, and they're being like, oh shit. Like, what's going on? We have these two drastically different aspects of what is happening in this now. Oh, I did not mean to do that. In this happening right now. But what's going on is that they are completely polarized. And so us, as the human that we are, yes, of course, we have the option to choose our intuition or choose not our intuition. But what we get to do is integrate both aspects in this now moment and neutralize it. I talked about it a little bit in a past video, but neutralizing the polarity. Neutralizing it so it doesn't have an effect on us. Then we can consciously observe everything that's going on. Then we can choose what's going on and really, really dive in and be like, okay, do I want this to be happening in my reality? And if not, how have you avoided neutralizing that aspect? How have you not done the work in that aspect to then grow through it? And this is for everyone, even myself. I find if things are triggering me still, I'm like, oh, I haven't quite neutralized that yet. I haven't quite healed that yet. It hasn't been in my awareness, and so then I get triggered, and then I'm like, oh, give me 1 second. But that's happening to everyone right now. And so that's just a little bit about intuitive growth. Everybody is having these upgrades. Everybody's having downloads, pushing them to live their more purposeful, passionate, lively, aligned life. So however that looks. So that's the intuitive growth section. Being in balance and being integrated and having clear channels, so important. Yes, Kimberly, yes. We need that balance to then be able to see clearly everything that's going on and then being able to allow it into us. Because we can have things coming at us all different directions. But if we don't allow it into us, then we don't know what's going on. There's information all around us, but if we don't pay attention to it, it's just useless. So, little things, and then I'll do the collective reading. So, little things. Tonight at 7 p.m., I'm doing a Tarot 101 class, and so we'll just be talking a little bit about tarot basics, just how I read tarot. This is just one way to read tarot. There's many other ways, but we'll just be talking about the difference between major and minor arcana, the 4 different suits, upright versus reversal, a few different spreads, how to make your own spreads, and then just meanings of them in general. And so that's what we'll be talking about tonight. It's a Zoom call, and so if you haven't already, message me, send me a little message and be like, hey, interested. Or if you see this video afterwards, still message me. I'm going to be recording it, and so I will send out that link as well. For those who don't know, next week on Wednesday, September 23rd, is going to be day 1 of Intuition Masterclass. And so what this is it's a 21-day dive into you. And so this is doing daily prompts, daily time with yourself. This is doing one-on-one sessions with me weekly. This is going to be doing, it's going to be a smaller knit group. And so I'm only doing 6 people this time. And so it was 4 last time, and now this time it's 6, and so we're slowly getting up. But I do want to keep it intentionally on the smaller scale, just so we can keep it more intentional and one-on-one based in that feeling. I talked a little bit about the cellular energy, and that's donation based, and then one-on-one sessions. The next thing, though, that I'm really excited to talk about is I have been thinking that for me, I find it really, really useful to keep healing more consistent and more progressive and just keep it flowing. That way we're in this flow state and we're in this internal understanding and progressing and introspective, as well as that connective and outwardly present state. And so I've been putting together a little package, a little bundle. I'm calling it the Bloom Bundle. And so what it is, it's a 2-month-long one-on-one mentoring experience, I guess you could call it, journey. And so it's 2 months long, and what's included in it is you get a energy healing once a month, you get a weekly cellular release session, you get a bi-weekly tarot reading or intuitive guidance, whatever comes up. So this is like tarot reading for clarity, intuitive guidance to connect with your spirit guides, angels, galactics. And so that's going to be one-on-one for 2 months. And so I'm really excited to announce it. If you've been feeling like you want to work with me but not quite sure how, message me and I would love to get in contact with you, however it is. But that's the next little service offering that I have. But yeah, so those are the services that I want to talk about. Next up is the collective reading. So excited. So I did say that I was going to channel today the message, and then I'll probably end up pulling a card as well, just to get both sides of it. So, give me just a second, and I'm going to tune in and tap in. I feel like connecting with the Galactic Federation of Light today, so give me just 1 second, and I will be right back. Okay. 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 Cool. So, what came through, if you haven't seen my latest YouTube video, it's very similar to that visual, but they expanded on the visual. And so what the visual was a peak, like, I don't know what to call it, but like a cliff, and that, like, so it was a cliff, and so underneath the cliff, they were showing underneath the cliff. And so what's going on right now, just for us to be aware of, is a lot of transmutation within the earth, within the planet. That's going on right now. And so this isn't so much like kicking reptilians off the planet or taking down systems. That's still happening, but what is really, really going on is they're focusing more, they're putting more energy into transmuting the energies within Gaia, within the earth, within our own systems, within our homes. And so this is within ourselves, this is within the planet. And so really transmuting that energy. And so this is why we are feeling super exhausted. This is why we're feeling super, either super emotional or super detached, those two binaries. And then what else? And so they showed that transmuting that's happening, and then it goes into like a spiraling. It's very, very much a very, it's an emerald green spiral. And so this is more so our heart centers. This is really coming in to know our hearts and know our passions and our loves, and just how we can show up and nurture not only ourselves, but how we can nurture our communities and how we can nurture each other. That's really what's the focus right now. And so how can you how can we be where we're at, but then also nurture ourselves so much that we can then give how we want to give, how we're meant to give. And so that's really the focus right now, and that's the energy that is being shown, to me at least. And so today, especially since the new moon for the next 3 days, focusing in on how can you nurture yourself, but then how can that nurturing expand to being then able to help others? How can that be anchored in and be the newness that is you? And so that's just a little expansion right now. So yeah, I feel like that was a really lot. That was a lot. But yeah, so I don't really feel like pulling a card after that. I think that was enough for today. I'll probably pull a card later, but I'm just going to let that settle. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see y'all next Thursday. Okay, bye.